Hey guys, it's Chris here for Hustle and Bustle, and today we're gonna talk about why you should never buy a new car. So why you should never buy a new car? Well, mostly because you're broke and you don't have any money. So most people want to be like them. And if you want to be like them, then you're gonna do what they did. No shortcuts, just hustle and grind day in and day out. And the rate of failure is higher than the rate of success. But that shouldn't discourage you for trying. And at the end of the day, most people did not start their journey for the money, for the fame. But wait, you can put $500 down and buy a new car and pay 24% interest. Woohoo! For the low price of $500 only and 24% interest, you can buy this amazing Toyota Prius. So guys, the rules of the game is cash flow. And the main rule is if you can afford to lose the item, then you don't own the item owns you. On top of that, there are other expenses associated with the purchase of a new car other than just the monthly payment for the next 48, 60, 72, and I've seen 84 months. So let's start here. You're buying a liability, not an asset. Second of all, if you don't own it outright, which 95+% of people don't, you have to pay insurance, which is full coverage insurance, which is the most expensive, just like your ex-wife. How much your insurance will be depends on the year, make and model of your vehicle, as well as your driving record. Number 3 is depreciation. The value of the liability that you just bought, is it a jet ski, is it a boat, is it a car, depreciates the moment you take it off the lot, and I'm sure you've heard that before. Same as when you get married. And maintenance and gas, but to be fair, on new vehicles, they're covered on 1 year or 25, 30, 50,000 miles warranty or 3 years. So the maintenance is slim to none. And gas. That's a big expense that you need to account for depending on your driving habits and how much you drive per year. As most things we talk about on this channel, like the credit card video that I made, we only buy things that make sense, financial sense for us. Now, if you want to buy something shiny and new to impress your friends and so they can think you're cool and rich, I repeat the motto, the goal is not to look rich, but to be rich. Also, if you need to impress your friends, maybe you should get new friends. So, liability. That means that the item that you just bought will cost you more money in the future and not bring any in return, unless you buy it for business purposes, which is gonna be my next video. Insurance. This is a cringe word for me because it's a just in case money that we were throwing out the window. And I consistently keep hearing the argument, but what if? But let me ask you this. Who makes money at the end of the day? You or the insurance company? The insurance companies are in the business of profit. The more drivers that file a claim with the same make and model as your car, the higher the insurance becomes for all of you who drive the same vehicle, make, model, and year. That's just the base. Obviously, that's going to depend on your driving record as well. So even if you total your car and you get a new one, the insurance company pays all of the vehicle, which sometimes doesn't happen because they have a whole department trying to argue not to pay, which most of you maybe have experienced, unfortunately. But then after they pay you, they jack up your rates because you already have a claim, and they will not lose money on you as a customer. They will get what they paid for your totaled car plus profit. At the end of the day, they are for-profit company. Because your car is financed for the bank, your liability is their asset. They are making money out of the loan they gave you, which is fair, and they want their asset protected. So you pay somewhere between $150 to $300 in insurance. Of course, that will vary by state, make, model, year of the vehicle, plus your age and driving record and claims history. Here is the average full coverage in America, which is about $200 per month. Depreciation. As I mentioned before, that vehicle will depreciate in value. And what do you think will happen when you try to sell it after 3 years or 5 years down the road to a dealership or a person on Craigslist? Fair price? No. The buyer or the dealership wants a good deal, the same way like you wanted a good deal when you're purchasing the vehicle. The dealership will offer you the lowest price possible because for them that's an asset that they're gonna clean, fix a little bit, turn around and make a huge profit out of it. But let's take, for the purposes of this example, a Toyota Camry. Here you can see the depreciation graph of Toyota Camry. Year 2, it's 25% depreciated, and year 5, 50% is depreciated. As you can see on top here, the resale value of a car that you bought for $28,000 in this example, you can only get $14,000 back. So pretty much halves the price of the car. At the end of the day, we want to make money, not lose money. And maintenance and gas, as I said before, new vehicles tend to have slim to none maintenance. The only thing that you need to consider is the gas and how much you drive every year. I took Toyota Camry as an example because it's the first car that I see into the most driven cars in America. It's number 6, but the rest are trucks. Alright, if you wonder why I have a different shirt, it's because I accidentally deleted the second part of the video. But we continue with the national average US auto loan. It's 5.27% for 60 months. We're gonna take that as an example. Our Toyota Camry will cost $28,000. So here you're just gonna go on Google and plug in those numbers, 5.27. So our monthly payment will be $532 plus the insurance. It says here that on average, it costs $2,200 per year, which is $183 a month, and it's $715 after we add to this our auto loan. So $715 you pay a month for 60 months total, which equates to $43,000, or in other words, $15,000 in interest. So after we pay $43,000 in a span of 5 years, and keep in mind maintenance will increase as the car ages. Now we're looking at selling the car for $14,000, or right around $14,000. So $43,000 minus $14,000. We're basically paid $29,000 out of our pocket to to lease a car, because it's not yours anymore. Or that's $5,800 a year, or we're paying $483 a month to drive something that is not ours because we sell it at the end. You can look at it this way, because the car is not yours if you end up selling it. Anyways, that was a bit off topic. Let's see it in some other way. Say you make $17.50 an hour. I don't know where you're at. Minimum wage varies widely across states, but let's say you have a decent job, which is $17 an hour. You work 171.2 hours a month. That's $3,000 a month that you're making. So basically that $715 that you pay a month divided by your salary gives us 24% of your salary is going to insurance and car payment, which is a lot. Oh wait, but it gets better. $3,000 is before you pay Uncle Sam, because you got to pay Uncle Sam, right? So let's do the $3,000 minus 30% for taxes. So you're left with $2,100. 715 divided by 2,100. So that payment that you're driving a brand new shiny car so you can look cool and amazing is 34% of your salary. I don't know, if you spend 34% of your salary for this and your housing is about the same, so about 70% of your income goes for housing and a car. I don't know what's left for food, entertainment, phone bill, electricity, so on and so forth. Now let's go and see what you should do instead. I would like those videos to be like, I present a problem and then, okay, that sucks, tell me what to do. So what should you do instead of that? So here's my Toyota MR2. The engine broke. Notice I did not break the engine, it broke. My insurance on the car was $39 a month. I bought it for $5,000 with tag and title, and other stuff was like $5,600. Then I got my cargo van that I own now because of Toyota, you know, I sold it with a blown up engine. The insurance on my cargo van is $49 a month, which is the minimum plan. It's 2013. It does have problems. I do fix every now and then, you know, I spend 2-3 hours a month to fix stuff, which is fine. You learn a new skill, which I think most people should have nowadays. And yes, in case you're wondering, I do pick up girls on dates into the van, but I'm still single though. So instead of paying $715 a month, how about try to save? Now let's make it like equal example. Let's say you save $715 a month for 6 months. That's $4,000. Let's say 5.5 months. Let's round it up to $4,000, which is the worst case, you know, scenario. It's like more conservative. In the meantime, use a bicycle. I've walked to work, I've biked to work. I don't know if you like to skateboard to work, get a bus to work. In last case scenario, get an Uber or a Lyft, because that actually costs money and we're trying to save right now, right? So next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna buy a beater. We're gonna come here and set our price to $3,500 to $4,000. And you got an amazing Toyota Corolla for $3,600. Great, 2005. Perfect. You got Nissan Rogue, which is a bit weird. But anyways, all I'm saying is that there are cars that you can buy, even 2012 Chevrolet Sonic. What you're gonna do with this car is you're gonna drive it for a while, maybe drive it another 6 months or 8 months. And in the meantime, save $715 for 8 months. And then sell this car that you bought for 4. Let's say you can sell it for $2,000. Let's make it $2,300, so we get around $8,000. Now, you can come sell the car. You can come again on Craigslist, and now you can buy a car that is about $8,000, better, newer, more reliable, less problems, what have you. Oh, see? If I didn't blow out the engine, I could have sold my car for $8,000. Aww, I feel nostalgia now. Mine was 2003. See, what I did is when I bought my car, I got it for $5,000, and that was in 2017. Actually, I have a spreadsheet that I suggest all of you make. So I know you might think I'm crazy, but here I bought it on 8th of September 2016. This is the mileage. And I sold it on July 28th with that mileage. Now I have certain things here to do on the car. Ignore the white body kit part. But what that gives me here is how much MPG I'm getting. And this is a long distance. This is 38,000 miles almost. Now I see what I pay for the car. This is plus SAC, title and other stuff. Insurance, fuel, repairs, tuning. Basically things that I really didn't need. You know, if you buy new rims, this is, you know, something you don't need about a car. But the more important part is cost to operate. This is the insurance, fuel plus repairs divided by the mileage. That gives me 24 cents a mile, which is pretty cheap compared to most nowadays cars that give you 45 to 50 cents per mile. Think about it. To go 100 miles, it costs you 50 bucks. And you're thinking, oh, I'm just paying for fuel, and fuel is right down here. On a 30 MPG, the fuel costs you 7 cents a mile. By the way, I just want to interject here. That is a little bit of a side topic, but when I picked where to buy my house to live, my first house, I really had a few options and I picked the one that is closest to work. Why am I telling you this? So I live 4 miles away from work, and at the time I wasn't sure how much cost per mile I get from the vehicle. So I assumed about 50 cents a mile. Now, if you have an option to live 4 miles away from work or 14 miles away from work, let's just get like an example like that is that obvious or that brutal, if you will. Because, you know, it might be 4 miles or 7 miles, well, let's say 14. So the difference is that you will definitely live at least 4 miles away, but you have an option to live 14 miles away. So that's a 10-mile difference. If you multiply that by 50 cents, you get $5. The extra $5 commute, so the extra 10 miles commute, that's in each direction. So this is $10 extra per day that you're paying. But we're not done yet. You're gonna go to work, let's say full-time job, 52 weeks times 5 days, that is 260 days. So multiply that by 260. So just because you live 10 miles further, you're gonna pay $2,600 per year just for your car, just for your commute. Now reality is actually worse, because not only you're paying $2,600 every year to commute to work, that does not account for the time wasted. Because 4 miles, I get home from work in 7 minutes. If it was 14 miles trip, maybe that would have been 30 minutes, for example. So let's say I'm 10 minutes away from work. I'm 7, but let's say it's 10. And if I lived 14 miles away, I was gonna be 30 minutes away. That's a 20-minute difference in each direction. That's 40 minutes, you know, 20 to go there, 20 to come back, that I'm driving more. And that's 260 days out of the year. That's 10,000 minutes. We're gonna divide that by 60. That's 173 hours. This is a whole work month. On average, you're gonna work 171 hours. I mean, that's a full-time 40-hour-a-week job. So think wisely when you choose where you live compared to where you work, because everything adds up. And if we're trying to save and be frugal and get to our financial freedom faster, this is one of the things that you would like to, you know, take into account. So 100 miles is $7. but you're not accounting for the fact that you need to change oils down the road, transmission fluid, coolant, brakes, maybe a headlight bulb. There's many things you're gonna change. As you can see, wipers, battery, tires. There's things that you change on the car, you just don't pay it now. Maybe every 2 years you change tires. Maybe every year, not every, but see, wipers. Every year you need to change the wipers. As you can see, they're usually give or take within 1 year distance or maybe 11 months. Spark plugs and other stuff that actually add to the price of the car. It's not only fuel that you're paying. That's why every time we go somewhere and they tell me, hey, let's go with your car, we'll give you gas money, I always say, hey, let's go with your car, I'll give you gas money. Because gas accounts just for about 30% of the cost of the car. So next time you're about to buy a car, you can go online and see how much is the cost per mile, compare with your car and make a calculation how much you drive per year, and is that car going to be better or worse for you financially. Now, before you actually seriously consider getting a specific model, remember, this is why you're saving that money for like 6 months. Check online what is the reliability, how often do they break, how much it costs repairs per year for that certain model. All that data is online, cost how much is the MPG, and make the calculation on how much this car will cost you per year. Also keep in mind, when you own the car, you do not need to pay for full coverage. You can pay the minimum, the bare minimum. Now, I'm not saying what you should do. Everyone has different opinion on it. I personally do not pay full coverage unless I have to, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you want to pay full coverage or somewhere in the middle, that's perfectly fine. But you can calculate and see how much money it will cost you a month. At the end of the day, if you're making $3,000 a month, you cannot afford paying $700 for a car. I usually suggest like Toyotas and Hondas because they're very easy to fix. There's videos online everywhere, so if there's a problem, you can always fix your own car, or you can buy parts cheap and fix your own car. Guys, when you're not rich, you have to live like you're not rich. The car is just a device to get you from point A to point B. You get from home to work to the store. You're better off having money in your bank account than impressing your friends with your new shiny toy. Well, this was the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and comment. If you found value in the video, please consider subscribing. Don't forget the goal, guys. The goal is not to look rich, but to be rich. Keep hustling, and I'll see you next time. Can't believe they bought that by an old car.